Hello everyone! Q'onzu Loa of Change is a new Loa that they added with patch 10.2, but perhaps they are not a Loa at all. Perhaps they are, true to their nature, change incarnates. The question who or what is Q'onzu, it's quite a few people wonder during streams, and there's also been a couple of articles. Today I'll show you the stream highlights of our interactions so far, of the quest that we've done. Personally, if I had to make a guess, I would say that Q'onzu is not a Loa or a wild god or a creature of the dream at all. RioWow sent me a tweet that trolls can actually ask Q'onzu about their nature and get some special dialogue. A comment from Wowhead reads that you can ask them like, oh, you're a Loa? The Darkspear elders have never mentioned the Loa of Change before. To which they say, Darkspear you say? Ah yes, one of the Gurubashi tribes, or former tribes I suppose. No, they would not know of me. As a matter of fact, I don't think any of your kind would. Few mortals have witnessed the manifestation of change with their own eyes. Such an honor it must be for you. The tree of life is vast, her crown reaching high and her roots reaching deep. And you, Darkspear, have only seen a few of her many branches. Now, if I had to make a curious guess, I would throw out the idea that Q'onzu, they're not a creature of the dream, but rather a creature of the domain of life. There are books found in the patch that have the idea of all that we see of the dream so far, that is the peace ordered by the Titans. Go beyond its borders and you'll enter a mythical wild realm, perhaps the domain of life, with creatures like a loon calling it home. A big moral of the story is that through the Titans' imposed order, the Emerald Dream it's become stagnant and unchanging. You would imagine that if you go beyond its borders, true to Q'onzu's nature, you would find rough, wild, ever-changing patches of life. As Alex Shaws, the Lifebinder, always says, if something lives, it can grow and change. That is my very speculative take. Onwards to the quests. I hope you'll enjoy. Here we got a new one. This is a Loa. Loa and wild gods are kind of interchangeable, right? Like all Loa are wild gods, but not all wild gods are Loa. That makes sense. But here we got Q'onzu, the Loa of Change.
Are you supposed to be here? Things are not what they seem. Oh, is this your dream? Or mine? What a fascinating creature. Things are not what they seem.
Who are you? I am the cool, fresh scent in the air just before the rain. I am the face you can't quite remember. I am the harbinger of change. I am the reaper of consequence. I serve the unending flow of life, and I am the victim of its stagnation. Fear me, evildoers, for I am Q'onzu Duck. Do I speak the truth, mortal, or do I deceive you with my grandeur? I was hoping that you would tell me.
Get now. Why would I want to stop the dream from changing? I think I will wait and see what happens. Try not to die, mortal.
I like Q'onzu. He's cool. I think you could get them as a mount, and maybe the druid form has been updated to look like Q'onzu. I love Q'onzu. Yeah, imagine that. Imagine that. Yo, these are some gorgeous models, though. Oh. Who? Puff puff. Who are you? You do actually, Yuki. Yeah, you get an achievement if he burns you. Went to bed 5 hours ago because I spent 16 hours addicted to the new zone. Are you enjoying it? Very much so. Yeah, it's a gorgeous zone. This owl doesn't give a hoot. Oh, you're proud of that one. Alright, follower of Q'onzu. It's called Dreamkin. Q'onzu said a visitor would come bearing offerings, I hope. Yes. You seek an audience with Q'onzu, but bring no offerings. One does not just walk up and speak to the Loa of Change, I'm afraid. You must first prove that you're worthy their time. The friends of Q'onzu have been granted 100 questions by the Loa themselves. You must prove your wit and answer each of them true. Okay. Friends of Q'onzu, a new one! A new one wishes to answer their questions! Holy shit, hello. Oh! Oh, Q'onzu! What's happening right now? 100 questions answered. Where do we begin? I carry in and carry out. In nature, I unfurl and I encase. I am consistent and predictable, but I evoke confusion. What am I? Ah, Jesus. Are you spiral, tide, flower? I carry in and I carry out. In nature, I unfurl and I encase. A flower, right? Cenarius? Cenarius doesn't unfurl. That is incorrect. No, it's not Cenarius either. It's spiral. Ah, smart one. Oh, yes. Oh, smart one. Oh, no. To whom does the Emerald Dream owe its form? The Titans. What? Freya. Well, I mean, I don't want to actually right now, but who the f made Freya? Who made Freya? Yeah? No? We don't want it? No. Okay. All right. What protects but also imprisons? Damar. Excuse you, that is not incorrect. It imprisoned the jailer and it saved us from the jailer. What do you mean? Yeah, that is correct. Well, we're 3% in. We're doing great. What speaks within a dream to you, but is waking holds their tongue? Is it Ysera? What? It's a moonkin? Yes, yes, yes. Yes. What? Yes. Alright. Yeah, this is taking far too long. Were you really gonna answer all 100? Yes. What do you want? What do you want? Well, I want some answers.
Is this your dream or mine? Are you supposed to be here?
You were actually gonna answer 100 questions? Yes. I just assumed that would make you go away.
Goodbye, and hello, as always.
You have many questions, and I have many worries. Such pressing worries. An interloper. A rude disruptor of our joyous day. How I worry so. If only someone could confront this trespasser. Wait. You could do it for me. It's a win-win. You could confront the trespasser. I answer your questions. I've tracked them
You've
down.
been frightfully predictable.
Excuse you, you're frightfully predictable. Woohoo! There's a cave right here. Hello. Loa of Change, the interloper. Ah, it's you. You're the one who doesn't belong here. Well, now, that's been established. I feel we're on the same page. Come. Back to my nest. Like, this is, I really, really like this. Good introduction to the Loa. And Vol'jin's quest is... Nope. Still,
What a fascinating creature.
I mean, with Vol'jin, I was kind of hoping that he was going to perform a role as in, you know, the Loa of King, seeing how he was, like, fused with Razan. Now that we're going to be dealing with Anduin's path of journey, maybe that's a good opportunity to bring Vol'jin back in. Then again, there's also Talungi in the trailer. So that could be, you know. Oh, come on now. That was funny. Don't look so cross.
Wait until you see what happens next.
Truly, your questions are important to me. I'm simply too distracted. These potlings, nasty little ones. I'm sure you've seen them. They're encroaching upon my nest and they're just a total nuisance. Bothering myself and my friends? The nerve. Here's my feather. Why don't you go change these nuisances into something less bothersome?
And hello, as always.
Okie dokie. Because I'm the adventurer. And we'll do whatever you tell me what to do. Oh, I need to weaken you first. Sorry, here we go. I was about to say that was not transforming them. That was just murdering them as I always do. Oh, look at that. Are you gonna stay that way forever? Okay. So 40%-ish. Hello.
Things are not what they seem.
You again? You did what? Oh yeah, that's fine.
Wait until you see what happens
That's
next.
much better. Now I can think. Now what did you want again? Oh yeah, you got questions. Ask away if you must. Get some answers. Alright.
You've been frightfully predictable.
Go ahead then, ask your questions. Why do you call yourself a Loa?
Getting lost is the best way to find things.
You see, the problem is that I've already lived my own life. As such, I found recounting these things quite redundant, repetitive, boring. If you really care to know so much about my life, why don't you ask the others? The wild gods, I mean. I'm sure they have plenty of stories about me. Okay.
Are you supposed to be here?
Scenarios. They didn't want to say anything. As expected, I should not have expected them to make anything easy. I can think of a few folk who might know more about Q'onzu's past. I believe Q'onzu has some history with Aviana. Perhaps she may be able to shed some light. Ysera would also certainly have much to say, but she is quite busy. Aesina, however, is close with Ysera. Perhaps she knows something. A denizen of the dream would be my final suggestion. A dryad, perhaps? Aesina, isn't she the goddess of the spirits or something? She sounds familiar.
Answer the call of the wild.
Gossiping dryad? Of course. Do you know anything about
Find
Q'onzu?
your own trail.
Q'onzu, the wild god? Of course, the wild god. Do you know any other Q'onzu? I heard they're demanding to be called a Loa these days. That's so like them. Could never settle. Weren't they imprisoned by Ysera? No. I heard they were spending time hidden amongst the mortals. Perhaps that's where they picked up Loa. Wonder what else they picked up there. Aesina is the mother wisp. Yeah, there she is. Yeah. Hello. Do you know anything about Q'onzu? Q'onzu? Ah, yes. Ysera is quite familiar with that one. As familiar as one can be with such a creature. I'm afraid I know little for certain, but I believe that Q'onzu has always been in the dream. There were once rumors that they dug the way out. Preposterous. They can change many things, but they cannot change the nature of this place. Dug their way out? What? So they're not a Loa? There's something else. Aviana? Hello?
Speak, mortal.
Do you know anything about Q'onzu? Don't get me started on that good-for-nothing owl. Refusing our call to assist against the Druids of the Flame is not the first time they've shown cowardice in the face of evil. They claim that their domain requires them to stay out of such conflicts, but I find it convenient how their choices always lead to their own comfort. Surely they're up to the old tricks again. I'm still trying to figure out who allowed them back into the dream. I do not wish to speak about Q'onzu any longer. Be gone from me, mortal. They updated her model, right? When did that happen? Is that when the harpies were updated as well? Cool. The head movements, very nice. Down, Atto. Down, boy. Eh. Look, by the way, how these wings shine in the darkness as well. So well done. Tell scenarios of the rumors. Well then, those can't all possibly be true. Return to Q'onzu. See if they'll at the very least confirm or deny what you've heard. So a spirit has been annoying, has been kicked out, has been imprisoned, they've been able to dig their way out. They don't know what they are, but they think that they're a Loa. But at the same time, they might just have picked up Loa from the mortals, as they like to hide amongst the mortals. They're the Loa of Change, so I guess they could be anything, right? If they call themselves the Loa of Change. They could be anything. They could be brown, they could be blue, they could be violet inside. La 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 la. Tetten? I don't think they're Tetten. Nah, I mean they might be Tetten. Oh, They seem to have left. Q'onzu and their followers are gone. This must be the answer they deemed you deserved, for now at least. Wow, okay. So... that is to be determined. Interesting. Okay. I like that. By the Mother Tree. Why do you care what they are doing? Fascination, my precious friend. It is the only reason I care. Change comes to the dream. And you're not the least bit curious? Curious? I'll watch them and their sycophantic leaders burn Hyjal. I will not let them... Eviana shifts a furious gaze from the Loa of Change to Noble as they approach. Oh, a friend. Mine or yours? Sick.
What a fascinating creature.
I've met and aided many spirits of the wilds and those that worshipped him. You, however, are new. Doesn't that make this all the more exciting? An unfamiliar droplet in an ocean of ordinaries. The wild gods, the august celestials, even the many Loa that you're familiar with. Instead of perceiving me through the lens of what is known, consider it an alternative. The tree of life is vast, her crown reaching high and her roots sinking deep, and you, High Lord, have only seen a few of her many branches.
You've been frightfully predictable.
Why are you called Loa, and why are you a human? Why are you called a paladin? It is who you are. Loa is who I am. It is what I was called by my first devotees, and it's what I have chosen to embrace. Q'onzu swivels their great head around, their eyes narrowing in a cheeky expression. Mystery is certainly delightful, isn't it?
Wait until you see what happens next.
I expected Cenarius would send some support eventually, but this is foolish. Ground-dwelling Loa? Oh, but this foolish ground-dwelling Loa? Taps her talon annoys as she gives Q'onzu a side-eyed glare.
My winged children fill the skies. They are my eyes, my breath, my life.
Alright. Eviana's eyes narrow as she watches the Druids of the Flame far below. Q'onzu may be content with letting these heretics destroy the very fabric of the dream, but I am not. Bring me scraps of their armor stained with blood as proof of your deed. Do not hold back. Remember what these heathens are capable of.
Oh, is this your dream? Or mine?
You again. Well, you must hear correct. Yes. Help here, yeah? Absolutely you are. Why would you not? This development is so exciting. What could these desolating druids be up to? Fortunately, a few of my friends have infiltrated the druids. I'm sure they have quite a story to tell. Go forth, my curious companion, and bring back some exciting news.
Getting lost is the best way to find things.
The priestess promised our future. The prophet's vision will come to pass. Sure it will. They harvest the seeds and roots with fire, but fire no burn. Fire blooms. Q'onzu. Through dream and flame, a fledgling flower. It sprouts and blooms, blooms of destruction. Chardrin will have your heads. The priestess promised us the future. The warm fades. Okay. So it appears that they are infusing the dream with a fiery essence, which is in turn connected to you know, change instead of stagnation, right? That's definitely the moral of the story. It burns and burns. The flower peak burns. From roots through petals, the fire blooms. Q'onzu? Q'onzu! Q'onzu! One more Dreamkin intel. Hello? Q'onzu, got it.
Those who harm my children will pay. The skies are my domain, mortal.
Actions speak louder than inquiries. Remember that next time you pray invades your homeland. Okay.
What a fascinating creature.
So here's the quandary. Enjoy
Goodbye,
mysteries.
and hello,
This
as always.
is interesting. You must be fascinated by this
Getting
too.
lost is the best way to find things.
peers at the note, reading it in full before sniffing at the bag of pollen. How intriguing. Not only have the druids created a new type of plant, but they're using its pollen to cross-pollinate other dream plants. How curious. Makes you wonder what kind of effect this has on the local wildlife, or perhaps Aloha. Only one way to find out, isn't there? Let's find out.
You've been frightfully predictable.
Wait, what are you? Q'onzu! No! Uh-oh. This pollen, this change is boring, predictable. This isn't change. Blah.
Are you supposed to be here?
Have you gone mad? Sadly, no, but this does change things. This change is boring and predictable.
Wait until you see what happens next. Goodbye.
That
and hello, as
was
always.
devastatingly mundane. Soot and ash, forever unchanged? No, I do not like it. Reputation, research notes, observational notes, and ink smudges. Oh.
You've been frightfully predictable. Wait until you see what happens next.
This cinder pollen doesn't evoke interesting change. It consumes all until nothing but ash remains. It brings uniformity, and I find that to be tragically still. I'm all for change, no matter the origin, but if this change stymies all future possibilities for future change, then it must be stopped. If creatures of the dream have been infected by this pollen, then they must be extinguished. This is not a flame that can be allowed to grow.
Getting lost is the best way to find things.
Tasting this flame pollen has given me a small glimpse into the terrible, unchanging state that awaits these creatures. Take this charm and use my vision to see which creatures have been affected. You know what to do next.
I am reborn.
While I don't see eye to eye with Q'onzu's fascination for change, their incessant inquiry has unveiled a more deep-seated plot than originally suspected. Putting down the wildlife won't mean much if we don't tear out the root of the cause. Locate the burning asphodels and tear them out. Okay. The page is dotted with scratched out observational notes, scribbled diagrams, and a barely legible journal entry. Our experiment was a success. The flame pollen from our newly created specimens have proven a viable means for natural flame infusion. We've not only observed the successful transformation of other plant life, but some of the local wildlife as well. It is curious to note, however, that our pollen has little to no effect on the more powerful spirits of the dream. Neither Dryad nor Treant appear to be affected by the pollen. I theorize the more powerful the denizen, the more resistant they may be to our magic. I've recommended that we focus our efforts on the local wildlife for the next stage in our plan. Ferrodren has been updated on our progress, and Chardrin has ordered the initiation of Phase 2. Our guards have isolated a small glaive and transplanted a few dozen grafts of our asphodel specimen to test the effects on the wildlife. Is credit not due where credit is earned? Your penchant for fascinated inaction has finally yielded fruits. Do try your best not to choke on it. You wound me, O Lady of Birds. Do not mistake my curiosity for change for meaningless inaction. Eviana twitches and ruffles her wings in aggravation.
Speak, mortal.
If the asphodels are allowed to spread their foul pollen unchecked, then the rest of the dream is in grave danger.
Those who harm my children will pay.
Well done. I'll ensure Sonaris is made aware that the damage these weeds have inflicted. A few dryads should be able to clear up any remaining pollen of flowers you might have missed. All is but one task remains now, champion. They gaze the drops to the druids of the flame incursion, directly down below.
Oh, is this your dream? Or mine?
Imagine the lengths these agents of monotony are had to go to in order to get to me. Me, the Loa of Change, to interfere with their dream-changing plot. The absolute gal.
Wait until you see what happens next.
Those research notes you brought Q'onzu made mention of the ones behind these foul experiments. The overseer, the one named Chardrin, has been under our nose this whole time. He oversees the research station below us. If we're to permanently end their terrible experiments or disrupt the progress, then we must be made an example. Okie dokie. Mortal, your dedication through these discoveries has been something to behold. I'm almost a little proud to have set you on such heroics. Must it always be about you? Of course, Aviana, and this mortal already expects as much. As a friend of Q'onzu, they've come to know me quite well, or maybe not at all. Q'onzu blinks slowly as they regard you with a knowing nod. You come too late, hero. Our work is already complete. Uh-oh. Frodren's vision will come to... Uh-oh. Hey, Bird of Change is gone.
My winged children fill the skies. They are my eyes, my breath, my life.
With Charter gone, their experiments destroyed and their research brought to a halt, let's hope this is the end of their schemes. If you're wondering where Q'onzu swooped off to during your absence, don't ask. They weren't inclined to tell me. Oh, okay. I was gonna ask. They mentioned something about being bored with the agents of uniformity. I'm sure they'll turn up again at some opportune time. Interesting. I thought that they were going to join the fireside, like the whole change thing. I thought they were like, they're going to be an agent of theirs. I really like how they're like, nah, you know what? I don't want to join team everything gets burned to the ground. I really like that counter point.